Hello! And there's the game. Hey Jackson, how you doing? One picture show up. There you go. I'm doing grand. Did a tiny bit of gardening. Played some games. Nice relaxing Sunday. Hope everyone's had a good weekend as well so far. Or what's left of it at least. Alright, let's see what the priest has to say.
Good afternoon, Vicar. May I speak with you?
Oh, you haven't seen this yet, have you?
Oh, very well, if you must. But time and tide wait for no man, and I've lost something terribly important. I really must find it.
So, this is a point-and-click ghost hunting adventure by the guys that did the Blackwell series. And it's just wonderfully bad. Wonderfully bad. It's so bad. I love it.
Maybe I could help you find it.
Oh, bless you, dear little man.
Can you tell me what we are looking for?
If I
Just
could,
listen to that line delivery.
Simply can't remember. I just
Yes.
know that I need it.
The one with the guy on the front going, right? I love that one. I haven't ever played it. Only know it from the cover art. I was not paying attention to what he said.
Can you tell me what we are looking for?
If I could, I would. Simply can't remember.
Okay. Useless. Nah, it's okay. It's mostly useless what they tell us.
Well, where did you leave it?
It's around here somewhere. Oh, and again, let me think. Where would I have put something so important? My memory is not what it was.
When did you lose it?
Ah, I believe I lost it between Wednesday and Friday.
Absolutely useless.
Bye for now.
Feel free to wander God's house.
Oh, I have been. This entire time. Hey, anything good here? So, the broad story is we stole a bunch of documents from our not explicitly illegal but very shady paranormal investigation research company, which I assume we were a janitor for. And we're now on the lam in a tiny little town in Anglia called Saxton. About 5 minutes into coming to this tiny town we'd never heard of before, we found out there was a secret treasure that people have been coming here to look for, and decided on the spot that we are now treasure hunters. And also paranormal investigators. We're paranormal investigator treasure hunters as of like 2 days ago. Like Indiana Jones, if he just decided on the spot that he wanted to go find treasure. Okay. Is there anything else that we can actually do here?
These panels should have some sort of decoration or carving. They have been worn smooth.
One of the other nice things is that nearly all of the backgrounds and all the close-up art is done in just photos that the team went around taking.
These panels should have some...
Okay, yeah, you're just saying the exact same thing.
It's a coat of arms.
I mean, it is, isn't it? Oh, you meant what should be on the decoration, yeah. Yeah, he kind of just does that, to be honest. It is what I call coat of arms, because that's what everyone calls it. Hello, Seville. Do you remember this game?
The other church is a mystery to me. Perhaps I should keep that in mind.
Now that the daylight fills the sky, we lift our hearts to God on high, that he and all we do and say would keep us from harm today. He excels at the Shatner pause. All of his lines are delivered in that sort of tone.
The shelf is peppered with dead flies. Some still twitch with the last remnants of life.
Gross. Ooh, orange juice, 4.5 liters. What are you gonna do with all that orange juice? I say like I don't have a... Something tripped our sensor. I went to the orchard recently and got 3 things of 5 liters of apple juice. We're down to our last one now. 17. Good luck. Going to be having an entirely orange-based diet. Where the hell is everything? There it is.
The camera has captured something.
€4 per bottle, but it was 130. Nice. Oh yeah, that's a ghost. I think. Or a crow. Cat. A sneeze. You captured a sneeze. Nothing else we can do? Okay. We've got our camera back now, I guess. Same thing. Can we take a photo of this now then?
That's not right.
Oh, fine. What about this?
That's not
God
right.
damn it.
That's not right. The choir stalls are empty.
Very good.
That's not right. That's not right.
Swear to God, Nigel. Right, let's take a photo of these then. Oh no, that's a spooky ghost chain. That's somewhere else in the...
That's not right.
Seriously? Okay, film it
That's
then.
not right. That's not right.
You just don't want to take a photo of anything, do you? It works with the video recorder
That's
as far
not
as...
right.
No, go back here. I know this works because I did it the other time. I should add "that's not right" to my sound alerts. There you go. You happy? You got some ghosts.
What on earth is that?
Creepy.
Creepy indeed.
This could be orb activity.
It is orb activity. Either that or dust. I'm pretty sure I already got a recording.
That's not right.
Just
A recording
yeah, I know.
from the church pews.
much use in that. What if I record here? That's definitely activity, right? Are you not going to say anything about it? I just have to sit here for a bit, wait for you to figure it out. You know, you think he wouldn't, but he always does. If there's nothing there, he'll say something like, "Oh, it doesn't sound like there's anything there." And then if there is something there, he'll talk over it. Which doesn't come up on the tape. Weirdly. Okay, I don't think there is anything there.
The statue's hands appear to be missing.
Okay, what if I...
It's not right.
What if I...
It's not right.
What if I just smack you, Nigel? Will that help? Is this any different?
That's not right.
I 100% am. Okay, that's just over there. Ooh, take a picture.
That's not right.
Nigel, look, if I do this...
Nothing.
Really? Okay. I mean, there definitely is, but whatever you say. A lot of these things, we've already established that we want to come back later in the night. We've made a deal with the groundskeeper to leave the doors open. So a lot of this stuff might just be, we come back tomorrow. Come back tonight. There it is. Found church. Voting kind of place. Ghost hunting. Nighttime return. Okay, so he does specifically just say the night vision camera. So we're not to be taking any photos anyway. Tried to record a couple of EVPs. Yeah, I have been. I remember there being at least one explaining the whole missing hands thing. There is also a diary entry that we picked up that explains the missing hands thing. A guy got jealous and killed a guy and chopped off his hands, is the gist of it. You don't say anything else, do you?
Good afternoon.
Oh, very...
Bye for now.
Feel...
Or Huns. There was another place to do an EVP recording. That's probably just what he's missing, is the hands. Okay, I know. Unfortunately, I think they're too close to the thing that lets you leave. But they are very suspicious, aren't they? Yeah, no, they're too close to this whole area here that's to leave. We can click on this.
The tapestry features 3 crowns. A link. A
The-
definite link to the legend. I must be getting close.
Sure. The treasure we're looking for is a lost Anglo-Saxon crown.
Something about those eyes.
Yeah, almost like they're red or something. Hence the title of the game. Exactly, you're catching on. Oh, that's different.
Pure hatred.
Yeah, sure, if you say so. Can we record any voice off of them? That's even less activity than over by the haunted grave. Well, alrighty then. Okay, we recorded some voice off of that. No, we didn't. Get any voice off of here. Now that'd be a hell of a thing if it actually did. I don't think this game is super well known, like at all, but it seems like just the kind of weird, obscure game that would end up being the inspiration for something. The company that made this has been trying to do a sequel for like 10 years. They have it up on Steam. It's perpetually coming soon. I think it's even meant to be like a first person or a third person thing now. I swear there's something else I can look at. Can I not look at those? It just goes there. I don't think they're that explicit. I'm pretty sure it's just the lost Anglo-Saxon crown. We're only looking for the one of them because apparently they found the other 2. Or they're definitely gone or something. I forget. I have to stress that the finding the crown thing is a secondary objective for our character, who is really just trying to lay low and avoid his creepy boss for a couple of weeks. And possibly some jail time. Can't put the camera back on here, can we? No, can't interact with it at all. Are we perhaps done? Yeah. Well, it turns out we were very bad at running away and hiding. Our boss knew exactly where we were the entire time and even followed us here. And sent us a package with all this ghost hunting equipment and said, "Here, since you're there, you might as well try it out." Okay, I think we've just about got all that we're going to get from here today. Oh, here's something.
That's not right.
Fine. Camera. Thomas Ager.
What is that?
That is a name. Well, you've seen it before. Comment on it. It's another one of those Agers. I know. It's so... No, I have to show you the Welsh guy. Yeah, but he's miles away. I'll have to show him to you later. Oh god, no, we're trapped in some sort of stream. Ah, well, yeah, but there's one Welsh guy that happens to be living in this little Anglia town. His name is Reese, because, you know, obviously. Only the voice actor they got to play him doesn't... No, it's like Reese... It's 2 R's, Reese something or other. But it doesn't matter, because the guy they got to play him doesn't know how to pronounce that name. So his name is actually Rice. Where did we even click on to see that? Rice. Our good Welsh friend Rice. Where did I click on that?
The quiet.
Yeah, I know they are. One of the complaints I have about this game is that there's often, like, a thing you have to look at that's very close to another area of things you can look at. There's like a pixel hunting, exactly. There's a pixel difference between that area and the next one. Thankfully, I know how to skip his dialogue now, which I did not when I was younger and playing this the first time. That should just be this again. Yeah. Try recording some sound off of it. Yeah, no, it's here. Thank you. There we go.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording.
There you go. They do and can speak backwards, but thankfully, when we just listen to the tape, it's forwards.
That's not right.
Yeah, no, I know it's
a
not
recording
right.
From the church sanctuary.
You doing okay there, bud? He did indeed. That he did. You're a bit loud there, actually. Well, yes, we did actually get his confession in the form of a diary, so... Okay. Okay, we get the idea. Thank you very much. Like I'm pretty sure it just does. I'm pretty sure in here he just says, by the way, I killed the guy, chopped off his hands. Yeah, there you go. Take those burrowing hands of his and bury them deep under tombs of stone. Okay, I think I can't take a picture of this, right?
That's not right.
Right. I don't know I'll be able to use my camera here yet. Okay. I'd nearly say that that's everything I can do here. Maybe I should check. This is one of those games where I feel like you kind of need a walkthrough every now and then because there's some stupid thing. It takes forever to get around. Church, got all that. Apparently they expected us to go into the church and do all this before talking to the guy outside. Mm-hmm. Wait, what? Oops. There you go. Pixel hunting. Oh, Christ, what ads are you getting now? I know. It's so good. But yeah, here's what I was talking about earlier. See this? These are two separate objects.
The archway is decorated with a coat of arms.
Which I think... Can I record here?
That's not right.
No. Film?
That's
No.
not right.
What ad did you get? I don't think I've seen that one yet. Also, thanks for the, 2 cents or whatever it is I get from that.
The archway is decorated with a coat of arms.
Holy shit. Thank you. Gatorade ad. Wonderful. Wait, weren't we talking about Gatorade? Thank you, Jackson, for the gift. That was nice of you. No, there's something somewhere. Something somewhere. Oh, is it over here? No. There you go. No more ads for you. Nope, it's gone around the wrong way. Is this... Okay, no, I think I did. I think I did get that. All right. Okay. Rude screen voice recording. Think I got that. Thomas Ager, partitioned area, sanctuary voice recording. No hands, orb activity. I mean, that's all you need to know, really. It's better if you just don't pay attention to ads at all. Any amount of thought you give them is more than they deserve. They really... You know what I can't stand? I can't stand the new trend in film trailers to play some song but slowed down. It's usually a song I like as well. Small plaques. First one. Oh wait, hold on. Work your way into the church until you come to a partitioned off area. Examine the partition. You get a close-up of some records. Yeah. Recording for the church pews. Yep, got that. Oh, is this maybe outdated for an older version of the game or something? Because I wasn't able to get a voice recording off of the statue like they think I can. Right? I don't think I can anyway. do not remember where I am going. This way.
The church window contains stained...
Whatever. Modern pop-up? Yeah. You know, it's been a while since I've watched Annie Get Your Gun. That was a good one. Okay, church pews. Speak to the vicar now. Lost something he wants you to find. Doesn't know what it is or where he had it. He thinks he lost it somewhere between Wednesday and Friday. Oh, okay. Weird. That's the wrong way. Go back. There. Oh, God. Oh, no, that would drive me nuts.
Thursday. The vicar lost Thursday.
Oh, He lost Thursday. Because he didn't remember where he put it. He doesn't remember what it is. But he lost it somewhere between Wednesday and Friday. I don't think I ever got that ad, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. Because I'm pretty sure I would kill someone if I heard that. I don't know.
Good afternoon, Vicar. May I speak with you?
Oh, very well, if you must. For time and tide wait for no man.
I found this on the notice board. It appears to be a service plan for next Thursday.
Oh, dearie me, yes, I lost Thursday. I'm always losing Thursday. Bless you, young man. My week is complete. Oh, goodness, I'm late delivering Thursday to the flower arrangers. The WI women create the most lovely arrangements. A true symphony of petal, bud, and leaf. Take Thursday and give it to Nanny Noah. She'll know what to do.
Yes, I'm sure I can do that. I was planning to return to Saxton once my business here is finished.
Business? Oh, how very odd. What business?
I don't know. I think it's a lost cause expecting too much from advertisements. So I think that was the most adventure game thing we've done so far, is find Thursday for a priest.
Does the name Ager mean anything to you?
Ager? Ager? Yes, that name does ring a bell. Let me see.
I believe the Agers lived nearby.
It's a very old name in these parts, so I wouldn't doubt it. There's a William Ager buried in the churchyard, along with his ancestors.
Did the Agers have strong connections with Northville Church?
Oh, good heavens, yes. Thomas Ager, who died in 1799, was a rector of this very church. I must say that I am thrilled to find our history so interesting.
Nigel, I'm gonna have to remind you that we actually already knew he was a vicar.
Thomas Ager was a vicar?
No, dear boy. He was a rector.
Well, that
There's
he
a
worked in the
difference.
church.
Did he worship here, at the church?
Oh, yes. He was a most devout servant. His name is listed on the rood screen by the chancel. You'll find it if you look.
What happened to Thomas Ager?
It's interesting that you should ask, as there's a whiff of mystery surrounding his later years. He came into a large sum of money, most of which he ploughed straight back into the church. When money is given to such a worthwhile cause, people tend to accept, no questions asked.
I'm pretty sure this is, these are Protestants, and I would be much more familiar with the Catholic side of things, so I don't really know what most of these words mean either.
Did Thomas Ager have a large family?
The Agers were a very large family in Thomas's time. Slowly the family number decreased. And
Yeah, you're
finally
gonna know a
vanished
lot more
some
about
years
this than
ago.
I would.
William was the last, poor wretched soul. He drove himself to an early grave, you know. He was in a terrible state. The family line was drawing to a close, and he feared there would be nobody to carry the family name. I always sensed that he carried with him a terrible burden, a secret of some description. Perhaps it was a family secret, passed down from one generation to the next. I dare say old Thomas Ager would have shared the burden in his time. But that is all in the past, and we must always look to the future.
Perhaps the location of some sort of missing treasure.
Can I ask some other questions? Can I ask you about the church?
Of course you may. Go ahead.
I mean, you always gotta remember to cock your carriage.
Who is that in the painting?
Ah, that's my great. Oh, he's an ancestor, a very old one. He was vicar of this parish for 50 years, back in the 18th century. He knew a thing or two about keeping the heathen masses subdued. I can only wish I shared his talent in that department. I must say, it is wonderful to meet someone of your generation who is interested in our history. What makes you so different?
So the painting up here is very similar to a bunch of the other Ager paintings, so I have to assume this is one of the Agers.
It comes naturally. I've always been interested in history.
Motivation is always a good thing, no matter what the cause. The devil makes work for idle hands, you know.
How long have you been vicar of this church?
A very short time. I moved back to this area 30 years ago. I'm still new to the parish.
Hello again, Seville.
30 years? I'm 30 years old. Why do people still see you as an outsider?
There are families around Northfield with ancestry dating back to the Doomsday Book. I am a very new arrival, you see.
Who is the statue of the sleeping man?
Wait, is that how you spell
I have
that?
no idea. There are those who know these things.
Sorry, we kind
I'm
of glossed
interested,
over that
but
part of
I'm not one
English
them.
history.
That statue takes up valuable church space and is a distraction to the congregation. It is a trial to keep their attention at the best of times.
It gives off a strange atmosphere, almost as if that corner of the church was special in some way.
Special? I have not noticed anything special.
I can give you a history lesson anytime, except I actually don't know a whole lot either. I didn't do history for the leaving cert.
Do you play the violin?
No, not for an awfully long time. There just are not
And to
enough
be
hours
fair,
in, the day.
in the medieval
The
era,
Lord, in
they
all
didn't
his
have
generosity, provides
spelling.
ample time for
They just
contemplation,
threw letters
but my
together and
violin will
hoped
have
it
to
worked.
wait.
I bet this old church has secrets.
Oh dear, you young people are so adventurous these days. Always looking for darkness in forgotten corners, mystery in your own shadow. But I dare say this building has seen some horrors, mystery, and intrigue. They say the building is built upon an Anglo-Saxon sanctuary of reflection, whatever that means. If you are interested in such things, which you obviously are, you should speak with old Russet. You can find him in the churchyard.
I suppose it'd be better to spell it D-O-M-E, dome, just to differentiate it from, you know, the idea of an apocalypse or something. What the hell is the word I'm trying to look for? Like the biblical apocalypse. You know what I'm trying to talk about anyway.
Can I ask some other questions? Can I ask about the churchyard?
I'll help you if I can.
Do you mind the crows? They seem to own the church.
All things bright and beautiful.
Oh, please don't
all
sing.
creatures great and small. I cannot dislike the crows, dear boy. They are all God's creatures. Do the crows frighten you?
No, but they are rather maudlin, especially in a churchyard.
The old faith in these parts believed that the crows were spies and messengers of the Dark Lords and Earth Gods. Silly, superstitious nonsense. Although I must admit that they do seem to watch our progress through life with envious eyes.
Why is the church so isolated?
The Black Death, my boy, the Black Death. There was once a thriving community based around the church tower. When the disease struck the
that'll
village,
work.
it came with no warning. Whole generations were lost overnight. Terrible, terrible tragedy.
Oh yeah, no.
No evidence of the
TJ,
old village
it
remains,
basically is
as
the
many of the
English
buildings are
version
now
of ancient
hidden by
Indian burial
encroaching
ground.
woodland beyond the
This-
church wall.
Church is built on top of an old Anglo-Saxon chapel-y type thing.
Can I ask some other questions?
There are no other questions. We're done here.
I'll have a look around, if you don't mind.
Feel free to wander God's house.
It's built on top of a whole bunch of ghosts. The foundation is almost entirely spirits. Much like any good cocktail. Wrong way. I have to go over there first. Yeah, it's like anywhere between 4 and 400.
I think I've collected enough information from here.
Nice.
Time to return to town.
Please teleport me. I don't want to have to walk out. Oh, god damn it. Alright, here we go. Time to walk back to town. Yeah, it is very handy. I was mentioning this last time, but I love that because all the things are actual photos of places in England, that this one is torn.
I think I've collected enough information from here. Time to return to town.
Are you gonna you're gonna teleport me this time, aren't you? Right? Yeah? Yeah, if you could speed it. Okay, good. Good so far. If you could be a little bit faster about it, that'd be great. Excellent. My visit to Northfield Church has answered many questions, but posed many more. There's a link between the Ager family and the Crown. What were they hiding? What was their secret? The museum is bound to provide some clues. It's time for some research, then pop in for tea and Nanny knows. It's turning into quite an afternoon. Discover the identity of those who may haunt Saxton and beyond. Who was Thomas Ager referring to in his journal? A guy called Gurney, he said it. Never mind. Did he harm him in some way? He killed him, my dude. He says so. Learn more about Northfield, the Agers, and other old families. Who's depicted as a statue in Northfield Church? A guy called Gurney. Are you not paying attention? Who owned Harbour Cottage before the Mankles? But we know that as well. It was an Italian guy. Yeah, the top 3 questions, the top 4 questions are all Gurney. This one is some Italian guy and his wife. They haunt the place because the wife died. Who was Spivey, the smuggler? Well, he was a smuggler. Does he haunt the Saxton Caverns? Yes, him and his men. And why? He died there. Pop by Nanny knows for tea. I need to give her the funeral plans for Thursday. Hey, that's actionable. Where the hell did you... Oh, there you are. You are gonna make me walk all the way back to town, aren't you? Nothing we can do about that yet, is there? No. In his defense... Oh, yeah, no, the little bits of color they add is really nice. Really does make it pop. So, yeah, the reason he continues to stand... I didn't really either. Or either that, or I remember it being entirely in color. I can't remember. It's weird anyway. Weird how your memory does that. So the reason he continues to stand in the middle of the tracks even after hearing the whistle is because he knows there's no trains, it's a ghost. There's a ghost train.
Ventured.
There's only one train that comes up to here and it's in the station and not leaving for another week. I mean, it really is. But there was one of those amusement things, you know, the really cheap amusement buildings down on the seafront where I live that had a ghost train on it, and I was terrified of going into it. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was all indoors. I know you know exactly what you're talking about because we all went to the same birthday parties there when we were 6 years old. I really wanted to go on there, but I was way too scared to go into it because there's a big mechanical banshee face directly above it. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about, that thing. Did you never go on it either? Damn, I was gonna ask you what was inside. I imagine ghosts. It just brings up so many memories. I also cannot for the life of me find a picture of it, ever since they demolished it. Let's stop in at Nanny Noah's for tea first, before going into the museum. We cannot. It is illegal. Trains are nice. I think they're my favorite form of transport. Yeah, I much prefer them to, like, planes. Oh, boats are nice as well. Yeah, we can finally go into the museum. Well, yeah. If it's the kind of thing where it's a really long ride, you definitely want one of those nice trains with the comfy seats. The comfy train, as I call them. It does kind of become routine after a while, doesn't it? Oh, nice to know that this game came out after the Euro. 8-hour train up to Aberdeen. Christ. I mean, if it was a nice train, then nice. But 8 hours is a lot. You can travel the entirety of my country in 8 hours. Alright, one. Local oddities. Saxton skeletons, mysteries. Library, Saxton longship, Spivey scope 6. There we go, that's something to look at. Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. I'm a little bit shorter than you, but still tall enough that most things aren't built for me. Tree of Crows. Welcome, weary traveler, to Saxton Museum and Library. This ancient fishing port boasts a rich and varied history, dating back to the most primitive of times. Bloodthirsty barbarians once roamed our deep, dark landscape, leaving us haunting reminders of dangerous times. Alongside ancient treasures, you will also find the museum features an eclectic mix of the ancient and modern, from an Anglo-Saxon sword and helmet to railway memorabilia and gifts from the East. Okay, getting a little weird at the end there, but sure. Gifts in huge quotation marks.
Good afternoon. May I explore the museum?
Of course. That's why it's here.
Thanks. I'm Nigel, by the way. Nigel Danvers.
How interesting. I'm Oogle, Professor Oogle, the curator of this
Yeah, I
museum.
know. I'm sure it was unintentional, but it does kind of pop out. He's Professor Oogle, yes. You know, the traditional English name, Oogle.
Is there an entrance fee?
Normally, yes. But the museum is free during public holidays.
London to Edinburgh in 8 hours non-stop, which would be pretty good. That was kind of nice of him, isn't it?
Should I be looking out for anything in particular?
Why are you asking him?
Many of our exhibits are unusual or rare.
All of it.
What are
Just
you looking
look at
for
all
in
of it.
particular?
What can you tell me about the lost Anglo-Saxon crown?
I know he is, but
If
it's like...
lost, something that has yet to be found is not necessarily lost.
I'm not sure I understand.
If something has remained hidden through centuries of upheaval and mischief, do you really think you have the right to disturb its slumber?
Hasn't stopped you before.
Does the name Aeger mean anything to you?
The Aegers lived for many centuries out by Northfield. The family home still stands on Raven Lane.
Where can I learn more about them?
Here, of course. There are some exhibits with Aeger connections. The murder and the mystery man may well be of interest.
I didn't even notice that. That is annoying.
Could I borrow an exhibit for a séance or similar experiment?
No, fuck off.
The answer is no. Be warned, our security cameras are everywhere. We see all.
Fair enough. Good answer.
May I ask you?
I wouldn't trust this rando to just go around doing seances in my museum either. Yeah. Nigel, we already know the answer to this, but I know you're gonna have to ask it anyway.
Would it be possible to return here tonight to ghost hunt?
Certainly not. Some of our exhibits are priceless. We can't have students running around looking for ghouls and goblins.
Student.
Is the museum haunted?
Saxton has many old buildings, young man, which have played host to many characters. I believe some may be reluctant to leave the homes they once knew.
Thank you for your time.
It is my job to help. Information is free, but feel free to donate to our fund.
Yeah, sure. Might as well. I don't see the donation box. Oh well. I'm back for it. Lost the tag. Yeah, no problem. Have fun.
Many archaeologists believe there is treasure hidden out there in the fens.
The Three kings of Saxton. History tells us that three Anglo-Saxon men ruled the area we now know as Saxton from the 5th century. They are Aldwulf and his two sons Ganwulf and Pendred. Aldwulf made the briny seaside his kingdom, with Pendred based in Ulcombe. Little is known about Ganwulf, although his kingdom is believed to be located in the farmlands north of Saxton, now known simply as Northfield. Arriving in wooden boats after the departure of the Romans, these men were highly skilled in craft, land management, and animal husbandry. The existing tribes of Anglia required strong, knowledgeable, and supportive rulers, so the established way of the Northeast Europeans proved invaluable. Centuries after his death, the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle remembers Aldwulf as a mannered and intelligent man whose sons carried on his good work for many decades. Their influence and way of life still echoes through modern Anglia and beyond. Fish. You want to say anything about the fish? Okay, no fish for you. Binoculars. Roman chariot. Or not necessarily Roman. Some interesting facts about Saxton Museum. The museum was converted in the 1950s to the feast of displays and exhibits you see today. That was a weird sentence. Could have just said converted into a museum. Don't miss the Saxton Monster, a magnificent fossil discovered along the Saxton coastline. Learn about the Anglo-Saxon kings who ruled this area over 1,000 years ago. Indulge your passion for our local flora and fauna by visiting Saxton Museum's library. New. Haddon Industries have donated several interactive touchscreen panels. Feel free to learn more about the town and by poking or prodding these new additions. Haddon Industries is the evil corporation that we ran away from. Don't forget, Saxton Museum is free during public holidays. Small charge is made at other times. Please visit the official website for further details and exciting news regarding future exhibitions. Learning can be fun. saxtonmuseum.co.uk. I might have to check later to see if that's an actual place. They're the ones that manufacture the ghosts. Yes, the big ghost factory, you see. Very profitable. Ooh, a thing. I forget which queen that is. Kind of looked like there's going to be more. Like, can I look at this axe? No. Okay. So, we're not able to take pictures of anything. Because the camera's looking at us. Like, I'm pretty sure if I try to take a picture, he'll be like, please don't do that.
No photography, filming, or tampering in the museum.
Nigel. The Saxton Warrior. This battle helmet was discovered along the southeast coastline after coastal erosion destroyed a large stretch of the crumbling natural sea defense. The helmet is thought to belong to Ganwulf, son of Aldwulf and brother to Pendred. Ganwulf is believed to have ruled the area now known as Saxton, although his crown and dynasty are unknown to modern history. Replica. Oh, it's just a replica. Boo. Boop. Full motion video. Here we go. Nigel, pay attention. Robert. Fun fact, ghosts are ghosts. That is a fun fact. Horse. Oh, it's in the water. Maybe it's a kelpie or something. Begotten. Don't think I've actually seen that. Is there a point to this video? Oh, I guess there's a ladder. Titfield Thunderbolt. Niche concept art horror movie. That's not the... That's not that claymation one that took the guy 20 years to make, was it? No, that's called something else. Never mind. What's the Titfield Thunderbolt? Oh, fair enough. About a railway. I was gonna say it sounds like it's about a machine. I was gonna guess a plane. But okay, yeah, train. I don't think there's a point to this video. I might just back out of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay, no, it's started over.
The museum is based in Saxton's old town hall, built around 1890.
Good to know. This is Spivey's telescope, I think. In 1892, Walter Spivey, famed sea captain, found himself lost in a thick North Sea fog and heading for the rocks near the Martello Tower. Using his trusty telescope, Spivey was able to spot the church tower at Ulcombe peeping out from over the grey spectral mists. Realizing his ship's proximity to the rocks, Spivey was able to avert disaster and swore that his telescope would bring good luck to all that had the good fortune to employ its uses. Ah, it's that sort of movie. That sounds like fun. Yeah, sort of a we gotta save the rec room kind of thing, but not as ridiculous as that. Okay, yeah, butterflies, very good. Head back. Ooh, film. I think they just had extra holiday footage.
Be sure to
There's
check the
ghosts
other gallery
everywhere.
to view some of our
Unfortunately, we
artistic
can't look at any of
masterpieces.
them because we're not allowed to do any recording.
The new video panels can be found in the butterfly room and upper gallery.
Nice. Oh, there's like a...
The museum is open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. except on public holidays.
There's a little tripwire. Norwegian gull and black-headed gull.
Do
Yeah, we
browse
do.
the library for books about Saxton
I presume I can't go in here. It's probably locked, right? Knock, knock, knock.
The May Day Fair will be held on Saxton Shore this Monday.
Derail the locomotive and bus carriage.
Careful.
Yep, careful. Ooh, a trilobite. It's a trilobite. Oh yeah, okay, they say trilobite here. Good. The fossil you see before you is not that of a monster, but a North Sea trilobite. It was discovered in 1900 by workmen converting Saxton's Martella Tower to a lighthouse to the southeast of the town. With no knowledge of the prehistoric period, the workmen believed that they had unearthed the corpse of a frightful creature from the country's mythology.
Don't forget to explore the mystery surrounding the Saxton skeleton.
Oh my god, that is so many pages. So in real life, you're saying, like, they used a 100-year-old machine in real life and it still worked. Okay, that is really cool. No, that's super cool. Alrighty, here we go. Olden Families of Anglia by Pew Lally. 3rd edition with 12 ink illustrations. Printed by the Pew Lally Press, Thruxton, Anglia. You really don't. But, like, that's kind of the point. Make a lot more money with things that stop working real quickly. Chapter 3, the Russets. Russet, pronoun russet. A moderate to strong brown. A coarse reddish brown to brown homespun cloth. A winter apple with a rough brownish skin. Middle English, from Old French russet, from ruse, from Old Latin russus. The earliest mention of the russet family tree in Anglia is from the Domesday Book of 1086, covering Saxton. The entry states that the Russets owned and farmed the land between Carrion Wood and Saxton. The land was mostly silt until the Middle Ages, when much of the land was drained of the fenland water and made suitable for the growing of crops, and much later, the planting of orchards, for which the family would become famous. Hill House at Ulcombe became the family home after construction was completed in 1547. The house stands on the original site of the Russet home, of which no record survives. Many believe the crypt at Ulcombe Church joined the original house by a series of passageways and tunnels. Ooh-hoo-hoo. $10,000 1950s pound, and the local rich man was an alcoholic who was disappointed he couldn't go to the local bar until around noon. That's a good one. Oh, he just gave them the extra money they needed if they added a bar. That's a good one. That's using the old noodle is what that is. Okay, so the Ulcombe Church is joined to the house by a bunch of tunnels. So that's good to know. Local legend tells of smuggling and piracy along that stretch of the coast, but nothing has been confirmed. It is known, however, that many members of the family died during both the Black Death and the Great Plague. In later years, the Russet family spread beyond the borders of Anglia, some emigrating to the shores of Canada, Australia, and America. Few family members remain in the county, although a small group are thought to live and work around the lost medieval village at Northfield. Here we go. Agers. Ager, pronounced Ager. 1. A piece of land or field. preacher or holy man, collective name for members of the Crow family. Is it? Ager? Crow? Fair enough. Origin, thought to be Saxon in origin. Olden families of Anglia. Once a large, wealthy, and well-known family, the Agers have since vanished from Anglia completely. Oh, that's cool. And I used to watch Thomas. I can't remember anything about it, just that it was on and I watched it. I do remember that there was like a tie-in apple strudel thing that they had in Tesco's at the time. And I love those things. Those were really good. It's like an oven strudel type of thing. Completely. Partial immigration during the Victorian era saw many leave these shores to benefit from rich opportunity in the colonies. Of those that remained, 4 brothers figure predominantly in the area of Saxton and Northfield, where they owned a house on Raven Lane. Finally, we were waiting for you, Jen. Rich drunk and the broke as shit drunk tried to borrow. Oh, 1950s movies. They're so good. There seems to be some historical confusion as to which brothers lived at the house and their correct ages. A Thomas Ager is listed on the rood screen at Northfield Church as being rector of that parish in 1799. This seems utterly impossible, given that the very same Thomas Ager appears in the family portrait of 1899. Either the brothers had a peculiar sense of humor, or Thomas Ager lived to be 100 or more. He was at church. How was church? We just left church. This was the policeman's work. Policeman, completely deadpan. Drunk and disorderly, taking away a locomotive without owner's permission, driving under the influence of alcohol, driving an unlicensed vehicle on the road, careless driving, not keeping to line of traffic, ignoring pedestrian crossing, failing to observe traffic sign, causing ashes and or sparks to be emitted on the highway, driving the wrong side of the road, failing to report accident, malicious damage, inadequate lights, excessive noise, defective tires. Choich was noise? That's noise. That is a hell of a report. Sounds like a good time. Of the 4 brothers, it is Frederick Ager who is best known due to his work modernizing the town of Saxton, which included the construction of the net store and rebuilding of the harbor wall with no mean feat in 1847. Yeah, there was a plaque about that. Nathaniel Ager is known for very little, although his life and attitude would suggest he craved fame, fortune, and power. It is rumored that a great ornate stone tomb containing his remains lay hidden beneath the huge... God damn it. Beneath the huge pipe organ at Old Combe Church. The organ itself, a monstrous machine powered by steam, was designed and built by Nathaniel himself. It is also thought that construction of the organ drove the remaining family members into utter poverty. That's a hell of an organ. William Ager, last of the Anglian family line, died alone, unloved, and poor at the family house in Northfield, babbling about a great secret that he must share. Of its validity and importance to Saxton, Ager was most insistent. Sadly, William died during the night of a terrible fever before he was able to share his burden. Academics have theorized that William and his brothers were connected to the legend of the lost Anglo-Saxon crown, but it has never been substantiated. I imagine, yeah, like, I can see a lot of those things popping up because it definitely wasn't the kind of thing that you're meant to be going down the road with. Humiliation conga of Pyrrhic victories. By the end of the story, they're bankrupt and imprisoned. TV Tropes certainly does have a way with words. Okay, are you gonna...
Three
There you go.
a link to the legend. 3 crowns, a link to the legend.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were gonna say something else, but sure.
You can marvel at our fine collection of butterflies.
Here we go. Oh, it's this thing again. Can we take a picture now?
That's not right.
Okay. Suppose it means we don't have to go this far to, we don't have to go as far as Reese's shop to pick up that book again, then. Are there any others? Who were the Anglo-Saxons by Lewis Savage? How many pages of this? Oh, actually not that many. Okay. Alright, let's get to it. Yes, how terrible. They were doing so well. The Dark Ages, as the name itself implies, have always been regarded as a dreadful historical abyss between the Roman and Norman civilizations. The native Britons, it was thought, were mere savages who, without outside assistance, were incapable of much except paganism and butchery. And those were some of the best things, though. Yet nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, this was an era in which British civilization was being born. You may already know a few details, whether historical or textual, from the era. The writings and teachings of Tolkien featured stories and ideas regarding the Anglo-Saxons and the ancient folk of Anglia. The horse-whispering folk of Rohan are a good portrait of Anglo-Saxon life. When was this published? 86. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Both fantasy, in fact, are divided over how the Anglo-Saxons integrated themselves with the resident Britons after the departure of the Romans in the 5th century BP. I don't know BP. Some believe it was by bloody dominant force, while others feel it must have been a mutual and logical step towards unification and sharing of minds. You could say that the Anglo-Saxons introduced Britain to wider trading, clear ideas of leadership, and large-scale farming, the birth of a new world. Like all births, it was a painful process and involved some spilling of blood, but it was without question an act of creation rather than a mere stagnation of what had gone before. Although much of the period was taken up by the squabbles of petty leaders jockeying for position, there emerged some much more powerful figures. Arthur, for example, who Alfred the Great was certainly a much less shadowy figure whose achievement... What? Is there a page missing? Yeah, I think there's a page missing. Alfred the Great was certainly a much less shadowy figure whose achievements in both the spheres of government and warfare were considerable. Then there was the dramatic influence which the dreaded Northmen, literally men from the north, hence the name, exerted on the growing nation. Their terrible raids eventually led to a degree of settlement and a mixing of the two races, which did much to shape the national character. Oh no, anyway. The Vikings, these ship-based raiders from Scandinavia, terrorized the coasts of Britain from the 8th century to the 11th century, disrupting the Anglo-Saxon people and stealing their goods, people, and treasures. Their voyages took them far and wide, from the sweltering heat of Africa to the icy mass we know as modern Canada, leaving a bloody but influential stamp wherever they trod. The Celtic nations of Scotland, Ireland, and Cornwall often sided with these mighty warriors to battle the Anglo-Saxons. Did we? Because the Vikings were definitely raiding us as well. Like, we have really big towers to that effect. Many of Britain's landscapes are thought to be haunted by these ancient people and echo with the battle cries and deathly moans of those who fell upon sword, shield, and spear. How come we never see a caveman ghost? Seville! You don't... 6 months in advance. Jesus Christ. Seville, you did not need to do that. But thank you. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Cavemen obviously didn't have souls, yeah. Well, like that'd be cool. You're back! We're reading! We're reading about the Vikings. We have not robbed anything yet. Stick around long enough, we might. Your man is watching us. We can't even take any photographs. The haunted shield and spear. Got it. Just remember they were a thing. Vikings? Or subscribing? Just put a camera in a giant novelty. I worked for Homer. Except for the neck pain. Temples, churches, and shrines. Much is left of this era, and the interested amateur historian has little difficulty in finding churches, tombs, monuments, weapons, and works of art, which bear witness to the fact that their creators were not savages. The Anglo-Saxons were present in Britain for over 600 years before the Norman invasion of 1066, the Battle of Hastings. 6 centuries may seem a short period in our modern times, but keep in mind that the Romans occupied Britain for 400 years, 200 years less. A bee? A bee! Ah! I love that episode. What was he even doing with that again? I know he was spying on... what? Apu or someone? Oh, what the hell was he doing with the hat? Yet the Romans left many clues as to their way of life here in Britain, with impressive ruins such as Lullingstone in Kent, with its fabulous mural floors, and the well-preserved bathing houses in Bath, hence the name. From coins to glassware, weapons to statues, the Romans are well represented in history, yet the Anglo-Saxons fare less well. Wooden houses rot away, and a simple rural life leaves little clues. Who or what did the Anglo-Saxons worship? What relationship did they have with the ancient Anglian landscape? How far did they trade, and with whom? Modern archaeology is constantly finding clues to this mysterious period, presenting fascinating and appetizing facts. But no one can claim expertise of the period, leaving it open to interpretation and speculation. Bath. Sorry, yes, I did mispronounce it. It is Bath. Okay, are there any more books? The Mourning Bride of Bodmin Moor and Other Ghost Stories. Revised from a collection of stories first published in the Darkfall 2 Lights Out. London, Cornwall, USA, Canada, Australia. How many pages is this? 3. Born unto farming folk in the rich and fertile fields of Burnwell, Nancy was a happy girl without a trouble in this fair world, until love stepped forth to claim her heart in the form of a local man, Frank Lanyon. Sadly, the lovers' parents failed to share the joy of their partnership. Following secret trysts and romances, Nancy found herself burdened with child. During a terrible scandal, the young lovers were wrenched from each other's embrace and told never to meet again. Lanyon was sent to sea to serve his time on the stormy waves of the blustery channel. Nancy pined for her love, but the soft night breezes of the midsummer eve carried no news of her lover. I feel like... Never mind. So Nancy chose to cast a spell, summoning the powers of the land to bring Frank to her side. Hemp seed I sow thee, hemp seed grow thee, and he who will my true love be, come after me thee on this midsummer's eve. 3 times the spell was cast, and 3 times Nancy prayed to see her love. Upon speaking the words a 3rd time, Lanyon did appear in front of Nancy. His apparition was twisted with rage and barely recognizable. This caused the frightened girl to break the spell. She was not to know that at this very instant Frank's vessel was being turned and tossed by a storm out by the Burnwell cliff, his boat a mere mile from port, where he planned to reunite with his love. Both body and boat were thrown and smashed against the rocks. Many of the crew died instantly, but Frank was washed ashore. His body now a mangled mess, writhed in agony as Frank began to gasp his last dying breaths. Frank's family witnessed the shipwreck, so rushed to the aid of the poor sailors, not knowing that they were about to witness the pitiful demise of their own poor son. Though in great pain and nearing death, Frank made his last dying wish. Bring me my Nancy, bring her fair face to mine, and let us be married. Frank's parents would not hear of such things. Frank survived for a further hour, his weakening grasp upon life extinguished as midnight fell across the bay. His last whispered words being a wish to see his beloved Nancy. It'd be a hell of a burden, yes. Nancy was never told of her lover's fate and still believed him to be making his fortune at sea in preparation for a departure to some far-off land where they could raise their child in a loving home. 1 year later, it was Midsummer's Eve when a rider approached Nancy along the back lanes of Burnwell. The horseman did speak to Nancy and said, "Ride with me, my dearest Nancy, ride with we away, for my love is yours, 'tis fine and fancy, ride with me this day." Nancy looked upon the shrouded man, quivering at the sight of her Frank's loving gaze, gazing down upon her with compassion in his eyes. His hand reached down to aid her mount, but she did not notice the icy grip. With a snort and a furrow, the horse rode away down the lane. Their destination was to be the village church, where they were to be married at midnight, the start of Midsummer's Day. At the ford, the 2 riders stopped to allow the horse some brief refreshment in the clear water. As the horse bent its neck to drink, Nancy caught the reflection of her lover in the darkened water below. To her horror, she found herself staring at a most frightful spectre, its face twisted with rage and torment, and the bones of the face were broken and bloody, with the body of a twisted corpse. Nancy's frightened shriek was loud enough to pierce the cold night air and was heard by local people who at once left their homes to seek the origin of the terrified sound. R.I.P. guy. Still, persistent, he came back a year later. The village blacksmith dashed to Nancy's aid with a red-hot poker. Nancy screamed again, but the spectre grasped firmly onto the lace of her dress, his eyes burning a fiery red. The blacksmith acted quickly and scolded the phantom's bony fingers. A ghastly howl filled the air from the depths of the fiend's twisted throat. The sound deafened all those that stood there watching. The phantom's horse bolted and ran from the scene, blinded by panic. Eventually, Nancy was thrown from the horse further down the lane. She hit the ground with such a force that her neck was instantly broken. Of the phantom, neither sight nor sound was heard or seen. Little did the villagers know that Frank had returned to his secret grave beneath the churchyard's great yew tree. His parents had buried his broken corpse many moons before, in secret and away from prying eyes. They would never forgive their selfish act that could bring such sadness to the lives of their son. Plural lives? Both of them? Okay. They returned to the grave each midsummer night to plant hemp around the secret grave. Nancy's orphan child would never know the true story behind the death of both his mother and a father he would never meet. I am not going to check to see if there are any books because I am done reading. Thank you, thank you.
Take the weight off your feet and watch our film about the town.
What haunting eyes? They follow you around.
If you say so. Okay, can't look at the thing down there. Can't look at that. I forgot how big the museum is. It is so big. The Saxton Caverns. This natural warren of caves and tunnels has existed since prehistoric times and has attracted geologists, archaeologists, and paranormal enthusiasts. Some say it is near impossible to measure the exact length of the caves as they appear to change with each visit. A polite warning to the curious, the local police encourage visitors to visit the first few meters of the cave, but not to venture any further. It is all too easy to become disoriented in the dark, damp, and deep caverns. Enjoy the caves, but do not put your life or a loved one's at risk. Good advice.
There has been a settlement in this harbour since Neolithic times.
That looks like a guy I recognize. A death at Harbour Cottage. Arriving in Saxton just after the war, Eduardo de Molina made a definite and lasting impression on the small town. Over the years, the Anglian coast has seen much in the way of trade, tourism, and visitors. But Molina's sharp suits and flamboyant air were very exotic to the simple people of the area. Sadly, Eduardo committed suicide only a few years after his arrival. By this time, he had acquired property such as the Watch House, Harbour Cottage, and Dickens House. In fact, his body was found in Harbour Cottage, dangling between the trapdoor and the lower levels. It is not known why Eduardo had chosen to hang himself in such a fashion. Local gossip hinted that he had experienced a great disappointment a few days before his death. It is believed that he had been searching for something connected with his family or business. Okay. So there's like a little boathouse connected to the... Oh yeah, and it got covered up. 1800 to 1950, 1950 to 2007. Thank you for telling me more about the house I'm living in.
Many archaeologists believe there is treasure hidden out there in the fens.
We know. The life and times of a Saxton building. All the buildings of Saxton have undergone many changes over the passing centuries, none more so than the humble Harbour Cottage. Perched on the edge of the inner harbour wall, the cottage was once the winching store, which housed a complex series of gears, pulleys, and ropes. Fishing boats would sail into the archway to the rear of the building and unload their briny catch. In latter years, the archway was walled up, with the small building converted into the archway was walled up with a small building converted to a dwelling for visiting fisher folk and those seeking shelter from the harsh North Sea. By now the building had 2 floors, one for storing boats and equipment, and an upper level for accommodation. A treacherous open trapdoor joined the two. The building's later history is more mysterious. It came under the ownership of Eduardo de Molina, a well-heeled merchant from southern Spain. His business in the town and his need to buy property was never clear. Eduardo committed suicide in the 1950s. His story and further history of the cottage are explored below. So we knew he killed himself because he wrote about it
is based in Saxon's
in a
old town hall, built around 1890.
diary we found in the house. Customs and superstition. The fisherfolk, townspeople, and visitors have reported hearing a woman's voice emanating from the cave entrance on dark afternoons. Some say it sounds like a sad song, whereas others hear wailing or cries for help. See below for possible explanation. Emily Travers. Okay, you know what, Jackson? I see what you mean here. Hadn't noticed before. That's gonna annoy me for the rest of the game. The 1940s saw tragedy in the Saxton Caverns. Emily Travers, daughter of the local doctor, is thought to have perished in or near the caves after being overcome by the strong Anglian tides. Although her body has never been discovered, her spectacles were discovered washed up on the beach some days after her disappearance. Emily was a regular sight to all the local people, who described the young lady as warm, generous, and loved by all. We're nearly done. Some believe it is Emily's voice which has been heard calling from the Saxton Caverns, nicknamed the Siren's Cave, or singing on the spring breeze. Local fisherfolk refuse to leave the harbor if the sound of Emily's voice is heard. They believe she is attempting to warn them of impending doom on the North Sea. Fisherfolk the world over are highly superstitious people. Even today, Emily's presence is felt around the town. A keen botanist, Emily was often to be found exploring the woodland and cliff tops around the town looking for rare plants and flowers. Some say it was her inquisitive nature which led to her untimely death. Of further note, Emily's beloved squire, a terrier, is often seen around the town. The lovable animal was said to search the town for his kindly owner. He died exactly 1 year after Emily's death. Aww. Shattered glasses. Emily's eyeglasses were found washed up on the Saxton shore 2 days after her disappearance. No sight nor sound has ever been reported of Emily, although her father searched for the county for many years. What did happen to Emily? Was she abducted? Did she wander into the Saxton Caverns and lose her way? Did she fall from the cliff top by the old boat store? Emily's departure may always be a mystery. We're getting there. Slowly
Be
but
sure
surely.
to check the upper gallery to view some of our artistic masterpieces.
I think.
The new video panels can be found in the butterfly room.
We might be hidden
upper
from the
gallery.
camera in this little area here. A body found here in the woods. Sickle found over by the Ager house. Creepy hat found over field. And a book over at the church. Darn, locked. Also locked. It's okay, I think we're hidden. Not if they don't see me. Dang it!
No photography, filming, or tampering in the museum.
I'll give you here. What about voice recording? Can we do that? We can.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording. A recording from the museum skeleton.
I don't think we're getting much useful information out of this. Yeah, we're not getting much out of that. $16.02. Some dude. Cool. Have fun. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, and we're back out here.
The museum is open
I
from
remember
11
how to do
a.m. to
this.
6 p.m. except on public holidays.
I remember there being something ridiculous I need to do, like
books about Saxton and beyond.
It's very similar to that.
The May Day Fair will be held on Saxton Shore this Monday.
Like,
That's not right.
okay, look up at the
Don't forget to
camera.
explore the mystery surrounding the Saxton skeleton.
Thankfully, it's not something as ridiculous as that. It's like I have to take a picture of the
You
room
can marvel
from
at
the
our
perspective
fine
of the
collection
camera, and then I can,
butterflies.
like, rig up a thing to hold it in front of the camera so it looks like nothing's happening. Spoilers. I can't remember how to do it. I might not be able to do it yet.
Take the weight off your feet and watch our film about the town.
They have your uncle's antler. I'm so sorry. The curator is doing an okay job.
The Suicide's Noose. A grisly reminder of Edward Molina's fate. The local businessman and celebrity killed himself in the late 1950s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Haddon, the evil guy. Oh, all of these... We read earlier that all of these mechanical things that have been added, that is a ghost noise of sorts. It's just to tell you that there's something there to record. You also hear like a clicking, nearly like a Geiger counter is going off. That's our EVP meter.
An electronic
EMF.
meter.
Beakers and pots. Discovered in the woods and fields around Northfield, they are thought to be 4,000 years old. The Saxton Claw, originally thought to be Grindel's Claw, by the dragon-fearing folk of ages past. This fossil is thought to date from the Jurassic era.
Yeah, Grindel. There you go. Was it Grindel? I swear it was something different. Again, we didn't learn Beowulf.
Nautical history. These items were donated by Walter Spivey, famed seaman of the Saxton Seas.
He said Saxton. Grendel! Yes, that's why I thought it was weird.
The Last Trumpet. A surviving musical instrument from Saxton's long-lost brass band.
That's it. It's so good, isn't it?
The Secret Saxton Recipe. Discovered in the basement of the Lighthouse Cafe, this ancient recipe is thought to be Anglo-Saxon in origin. Saxton Punch. A flask of Saxton Punch, a strong medieval beverage. Discovered in the wine cellar of the Bear.
Maybe. I mean, they have said Grindel earlier as well, so I think it is just in the writing. That doesn't
The
look...
Sax. A replica Saxon sword based upon a priceless item found in the murky swamps of Sedgemarsh.
The people that wrote this were the people that wrote the Blackwell series of point-and-click adventure games, which is why you can see references to it occasionally. I've never played them. I do have them.
There has
Might
been
have to
settlement
play them
in
sometime in the
Scotland
future.
since Neolithic times.
Railway memorabilia. The old station clock and a trackman's lantern.
That's the one. Yep, Jonathan Boakes.
Old time music. Old gramophone recordings. Donated by Wesley
Maybe it's
Russett.
like, maybe it's not Beowulf. Maybe it's an entirely separate, very similar sounding dragon. No comment? No comment.
Many archaeologists believe there is treasure hidden out there in the fens.
Nice stained glass on the elevator. I'm pretty sure at least 3 of them are sequels to this specific game. Yeah. I know. Some of them are available for wishlisting on Steam. He really is. They've been trying to make a sequel for this since the first one came out. Wait, yep. Do you want me to try the basement or the bone?
The museum is based in Saxon's old town hall, built around 1890.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know. In fairness, it seems like a lot of the electrical modernization stuff came from the evil corporation that we specifically ran away from.
The upper gallery to view some of our artistic masterpieces.
To be honest, it really is. Yeah, there you go.
The new video panels can be found in the butterfly room and upper gallery.
Curator, if you could stop talking for a second. So the building is not a purpose-built museum. It's a repurposed storeroom or something like that. So the 2 stories does kind of make sense. But the fact that this is a no-name town that nobody's heard of in the middle of the country with a 2-story museum with elevator is ridiculous. I'm not sure I even have a local museum.
About Saxton and beyond.
Oh no, the Wicklow Jail. Kind of. I mean, it's probably the closest thing we have to a local museum is the old jailhouse. That might have a lift? I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. But it's a lot better funded than this place would be.
Don't forget to explore the mystery surrounding the museum. Will be closing in 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, piss off. Okay, fine. Yeah, I heard you the first time. Don't you... ghosts. Here. Ghosts do take up a lot of room. You wouldn't think they do, but they do. Okay, these full motion videos are fun, but they don't actually do anything as far as I understand. What are you doing
It's a
here?
symbol, but I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, I know. It's Nefertiti or something, isn't it? The Tree of Crows. Artist, unknown date, around 1800. I don't know. I assume it's like a wooden replica or something. They must have just had like a spare wall or something. Or maybe it's a replica made by a local craftsman, because this seems to mostly be all like art stuff. History surrounds this stylized depiction of an oak tree and crows. There are no records of the painting being commissioned, nor is there an artist's mark to be found anywhere within the brushstrokes. A recent scientific examination by historians using X-ray techniques proved futile as the oil pigment seemed to defy the scanner. A beautiful piece of art which will forever remain a mystery. That's not from the Fens. I know. No, it makes no sense. And anything I could do to justify it will continue to not make any sense. Isn't this game wonderful? You live in the fence? Nice.
Take the weight off your feet and watch our film about the town.
I had a funny feeling stepping into here that this might personally affect you in some way, and I'm kind of glad it did.
There has been a
20k
settlement
fluid
in
ounces worth
Neolithic
of
times.
ghosts. I think ghosts are measured in fluid ounces. Angry deer noises. To the basement! I just realized that this place is using American measurements for floors. Can't go anywhere here. Fantastic.
I don't think I should be down here.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Why did you come down here, Nigel? Good point. Yeah, let's go with that. Well, the developers are American, and they probably just didn't know.
Many archaeologists believe there is treasure hidden out there in the fens.
Yeah, it checks out. Okay, I get it. I gotta leave. Yeah, no, I get it. I swear.
The museum is based in Saxon's old town hall, built around 1890.
Huh, fair enough. I'm sure the rest of the people making it are American,
to
though.
view some of our artistic masterpieces.
You know it's closing in 10 minutes. I wanna... How the hell do I get this?
The new video panels can be found in the butterfly.
Oh no, it's much more simple
upper
than that.
gallery.
That's not right.
Okay, hold on. I might have to look this up. It might be a thing I have to do later, but I want to make sure it's not something I just do now. Saxton Museum. Oh, saxtonmuseum.co.uk at least was an actual place. Oh, it still is. It's still up. That's adorable. Monkey themed pub. All right. Take me with you next time I'm around. Monkey theme. How do you make a monkey themed pub? Get a voice recording from the Saxon skeleton. Someone was watching it through the CCTV, so you won't be able to get a picture. Oh, bonobo. And drink. Thank you. Oh, it's actually just a hipster pub that just got a monkey logo? Okay. That makes a bit more sense. Oh, hold on. Hey, I knew there was something around here that I can take a picture of.
The museum is open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., except on public holidays.
Okay, see you later. Oh, he's in Ireland as well. Oh, that I can... Never mind. God damn. Oh, there it is.
The museum surveillance can't see me from here.
There we go. I knew there was one place I could get to. Nice. So does this let us go to a couple of places that we couldn't go to before? Because you would say, I don't no idea where this leads. And then just wouldn't go. Jerk. Hidden treasures of the Anglo-Saxons. Each year, hundreds of would-be treasure hunters flock to the seaside town of Saxton to look for legendary Anglo-Saxon treasures, rumored to litter the countryside around the town. Some believe that a third, undiscovered Saxon crown may remain hidden in the watery fenlands, deep woods, endless caverns, or sandy beaches. It is known that 3 Anglo-Saxon warriors ruled this area of England from the 5th century to an unknown date. Long after their demise, the most precious items of their kingdom were buried around the county to protect the kingdoms from dragons, evil spirits, and the ever-invading Viking hordes. Pendred's kingdom is believed to have fallen into the sea following an earthquake in the medieval period. Aldwulf's riches were reduced to molten metal after the Norman invasion of 1066. The same was thought of Ganwulf's riches until the discovery in the 19th century of the Ganwulf sax and the battle helmet. The former in the water around the Great Fen, the latter was exposed by high spring tides. You know, you say that, but like, looking at my analytics, the vast majority of the people that watch my stream are from America. The survival of these items suggests that many of Ganwulf's treasures, including his legendary crown, may remain undiscovered in the lands around Saxton. Like his father and brother, Ganwulf's treasures will have been buried, but survived discovery by bandits, the church, or destruction by the sea. Yep, I know. Apostrophe yes. The tantalizing thought of finding the crown has proven too much for some. The town and the surrounding countryside finds itself infested with treasure hunters each spring. It is interesting to note that people local to Anglia have never gone looking for the hidden treasures, even in times of great need and poverty. Old superstition believes that a great catastrophe will befall the town of Saxton if Ganwulf's crown is removed from its resting place. With 2 of the Saxon crowns destroyed, it may be vitally important that Ganwulf's spirit continues to watch over the town and protect its people from disease, corruption, or something much more sinister. The old ways, S, of Anglia saw dragons, S, warlocks, and beasts terrorizing the humble farmers and fisherfolk. Would these creatures return if the crown were stolen from Saxton? Probably. I know. We're going.
Do browse the library for books about Saxton and beyond.
Feel kind of bad for this guy. You're just making him sit there, even though the museum's closing. I know. It's really annoying, isn't it? In we go. Time for tea. The Ark, because her name is Nanny Noah, get it? Ah.
Oh, here you are.
Cute little house. Aw. Don't mind me just dicking around with your radio.
West by north 3, 19 miles,
It stays going. Nice.
Hello, George.
Hello, George.
Hello, George.
Well, sit down, boy. I'll put the kettle on.
Presume we've just like tapped into some utility frequency. Either that, or we have accidentally discovered one of those number stations. It does kind of sound like, I don't know, weather? Something nautical? Sure is a long cutscene. Looking at stuff I've already looked at. There we go.
I've had quite a day.
I can see. She must tell me about
Oh
it.
my!
But first, you must have some questions or something to show me.
Can I ask about Northfield Church?
Of course, I'll help if I can.
I believe Northfield Church is haunted.
Oh, without doubt. Who do you think it is?
I'm not sure, but all
I
clues
think
are
it's just to
pointing
show
towards
time
the
passing,
ancients.
but it really
Behaviour,
overstays its
Nigel.
welcome.
You're going to have to take care.
Why? Is there something I should know?
Brothers, 4 of them, all connected to the local churches.
Yes. Thomas Ager was a rector at Northfield.
Ha! Dark-hearted heathen that he was. Nasty man.
Right, elaborate on that.
I'm revisiting the church later tonight.
How? It's a jolly
Okay,
long way and there's
so-
no night bus.
The train tracks lead to Carrion Wood from Sedgemarsh Station.
In that case, you must take this charm.
I felt there was
Thanks.
someone or something watching me from the railway sidings.
I know, Nigel. Be careful tonight.
Yeah, they do. Okay. So, about the time period. It is 2007. It's set in the modern day, but while you're talking to everyone, they occasionally let slip some weird anachronisms or time idiosyncrasies. Like one guy saying that, I don't know, these 2 people bought a house back in the 60s a couple years ago. Or something like that. But they don't look anything over 30-something. So, either everyone here is a ghost, or some people are living in the past. He does, in fact, out Shatner.
I met Mr. Russet, the gravedigger.
Wesley Russet is as old as these fens.
Yeah, pretty
He
much.
talked about the old ways.
Did he now? We'll have to talk about that, you and I.
Have I done something wrong?
No, not at all. You're just not ready for such things.
M. Night Shyamalan.
May I ask about something else?
Of course, I'll help if I can.
You were right about the antique shop.
Oh, Nigel, I told you not to visit. Curiosity killed the cat, you know.
Speaking of cats, there seem to be a few missing.
Yes, vanished without trace, dratted creatures.
Not
Hey.
a feline fan, eh?
Oh, not at all. George loathes the things.
I love cats. Cats are great. Dogs are too.
The museum presented many mysteries.
It hides more mystery than it exhibits. Dig deep, my boy. The answers are there to find.
As well as more questions, I expect. Can you take a look at this item?
Of course, I'll help if I can.
This thing.
I have this from Northfield Church.
Oh, goodness. Funeral service? And so soon?
The vicar told me to bring it to you.
Vicar at Northfield? That was quick. Oh, thank you, Nigel. Yes, thank you. I shall get trimming and strimming later tonight. Poor evening.
Yeah, so for instance, the vicar said he's been there for 30
no,
years,
no,
but she's
that's
like,
enough chatter for now,
wow,
'cause
they
we
have a new
have
vicar already. That's
Why?
fast.
What do you want to do?
Read your palm, of course. Come, come. Firstly, Nigel, we shall look at your lifeline. It's this crease here, which runs from the side to the base of your hand. You have the best kind of lifeline, which is strong and clearly marked. This indicates good health and vitality. Secondly, above the lifeline is the second most important marking in palmistry.
I don't have one of
The
those.
headline here is separate from your lifeline, indicating a logical and direct way of thinking. The depth of this line also indicates you have a good memory, which is always a good thing. Next, your heart line, which is here from the centre finger to the left of your palm. Yours begins at the middle finger, which indicates you have a materialistic look upon life and love. These small broken lines indicate you have been unlucky in love. Lastly, your hand is square in shape, very square in fact.
Rude.
This suggests you're a hard-working, dedicated and earthy individual. This is a good sign. It means you have good values and provide much for those you know and work with. Is this your first palm reading?
Yes, actually. I didn't realise the palm could be so revealing.
Was it accurate?
Ah, that would be telling. For now, I can tell you it was spookily accurate. They used to burn people for these kind of skills, you know.
I know, superstitious fools. Even isolated villages like Saxton were ransacked by witch hunters, angry torch-bearing thugs, and the paranoid religious zealots of the abbey. I believe the innocent people, burned to lives, still haunt this town. They're seeking justice for their deaths. A terrible business.
Ah, now it's nighttime. Jesus Christ, that's a big moon. Look at it go, passing in front of the clouds. It's so good. Oh, away he goes. Alrighties. Clear out our inventory a little bit.
I have added any new evidence to the collection.
I know. I like to think it's just like a parade float that they were carrying behind the houses. But it's... oh, it's so good. It's so bad. And I love it so much. Uncle Harold, no. I know. The Great Northern Stag. Yeah, there's a Great Northern Stag in the chat as well. Hey. Home sweet home. At least, for now. I know. I almost kind of miss it. Okay, so... hold on, what do you want me to do here? Can't leave. It just wants me to go to bed. I will be calling it very soon, on account of us being 2 hours in. Oh, that's dangerous.
Has someone been here?
Or has someone never left? Quick question, Nigel. We were meant to go outside and do stuff in the middle of the night. Why are you sleeping? This is just a quick nap before we leave. If you look at his eyelids, you can tell that they are not meant to be stretched closed. 2007. Night 2. A return to the Carrion Woods. It is time to return to the Carrion Woods in Northfield Church. Must remember what Catherine Carswell and Annie Noah said about the train tracks. What is this strange item the old woman gave me? Is it a protective charm, an effigy, or just New Age nonsense? Oh, it's so much better than that. Be wary of the train tracks when exploring. Meet with Bob Tawny in the Bear. He said he'd have something for me. Did he? Did he say that and I've just forgotten? Probably. Try to observe more supernatural activity at Harbor Cottage. Ghost hunt at Northfield. Does Nicholas Gurney haunt the place? Oh, so you finally know his name. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, now you notice it. It's bad, isn't it? That model was not designed to be looked at up close. So it's a hell of a choice that they decided to do that. Do the Ager brothers still have any power over the church or its graveyard? Probably a little. Did we stick that into the... No, not that. I don't care about that. This. You're really just not going to look at the scissors? Okay, fine. Any more spookums? I know. Their use of apostrophes is honestly the scariest thing in the game. Empty. Empty. Hey, give me a minute.
What was that sound?
How's your door? So this should be where Molina hung himself. Yep, there's the noose. Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
What was that sound?
Unfortunately, we will have to find out tomorrow, because I'm calling it here. Yes, here. That's what I said. So. Thanks everybody for coming. I will leave you with the rest of your Sunday, whatever's left of it, wherever you are. And I will see you all for more of this nonsense tomorrow, where we will go back to the church. I know you just got here. I know. But it's dinner time for me, and I am very tired. I could try to go longer tomorrow, though. I don't have anything planned, and I think my Tuesday is taken up. Yeah, I might go for a longer one tomorrow and see where that gets us. But unfortunately, until then, it's bye from me, and see you later. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you, Jackson, for the gifted sub to TJM, and thank you, Seville, for the 6 months of Tier 1. You guys don't need to do that, but I very much appreciate that you do. So, see you later.